I don't know what's going on with that, but like, let's everybody get settled in. I'm just gonna end up having to read it on my phone because I'm not gonna wait forever for these websites to come back. I got plans tonight. We all know how it is sometimes. We got Archbishop East already here.
Undefeated of the East, baby. What it do?
We got Bishop Squid.
I mean, you know, we in here.
I'm here.
Hey, Bishop Ponzu's back on deck.
Let's go!
And yeah, we'll do it the jank way if we got to. I'll pull up the chapter on my phone. Sick of waiting 15 extra minutes for that website to stop being crashed. It's not done being crashed. I need to know what happened this week in My Hero Academia. So we're looking like junkies staring at my phone today. So be it. We check one last time to see if the site's working. Nope. All right, it is what it is. I want to know what happened.
We're gonna have to use a manga plus. So we down bad. We in the struggle bus.
Bro. Betrayed.
Struggle bus.
No, see, what's annoying is you can download it on what you have to do is download it on the app, then disconnect from your internet. So you can just access the images. That's how you gotta.
The chat's
broken.
Yeah, you know you gotta fix that every time.
What?
What happened?
Okay. Guys.
Is the chat still broken?
No, it's still broken, man.
Hold on.
So, guys, like the stream. We are 26 people. You know what to do.
There we go. Oh, happy birthday.
Whose birthday is it?
K9K.
Hey, happy birthday.
Okay, happy birthday, K.
Hey, all right, bet. All right, it's Valentine's Day. It's your birthday. We out here. Latest chapter, My Hero Academia. Reading on the phone because the Viz website is down and I don't have patience anymore.
This chapter is sadistic.
Oh boy.
Use big words, bro.
Manga Plus? Yeah. Is it? I don't use Manga Plus usually, but if they got the official translation. Let's see. Where's my hero? Where is my? Oh, there you
are. Oh, the title slap. Fuck that other one.
Let's see. All right. My Hero 301. We starting. Flashback to it looks like the day Endeavor acquired. I'm echoing in somebody's acquired Ray. While we never dreamed that the great Endeavor, the man many say will be the next #1, would reach out to us. Ooh, that's okay. Who's
you got the bomb in the background? Yeah, I don't know who the bomb in the background is.
What's Squid?
No, it's not mine.
No, it was yours.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. The Himura family has also once considered prestigious with a long and storied history. So it's only fitting that a top hero such as yourself would take a Himura woman as your bride. She has a lot like Ice herself, or she was a lot like Ice herself. Ooh. Let's see, taking her for a walk. She knew full well it was a Quirk marriage from the start, but she said she'd do it for her family's sake. Endeavor has no game. Let's just establish that it's 100% canon. Endeavor doesn't have game.
It's facts. He don't know how to spit.
Like, and she just looks over it and says, "Oh, okay." He's like, "You like flowers?" She's like, "Yes, so pretty." strong but prone to melting away at the slightest touch. Ray, are you really okay? Okay? No, I'm not. That's why I'm here. Uh-oh. My Hero Academia, Chapter 301. The Wrong Way to Put Out a Fire, Part 1.
Bro, this title fucking slaps, boy.
Dog.
That shit slaps, boy.
The Wrong Way to Put Out a Fire.
Yo, I think the scans had the Mischief of Fire Part 1. No, this shit slaps, boy. I see that why there was like, yeah, serializations you must read last week. That was a teaser. That shit is gas.
Bro. That's a lot of burning. Can't feel a thing though. Yeah, laying in bed, this arm charred. I know dear old dad ain't gonna die. He's tougher than that. Plus, even if he wants to say adios to this world, his position won't allow it. Jesus. He'll have to make some kind of public statement pretty soon. Can't wait to see his pathetic mug. I've been waiting so damn long for this. NG Todoroki, Mom, Fuyumi, Natsu, and Shoto. Take a real good look at me in the depths of hell.
That shit's so fun. You see the transition?
Yeah, because he's bleeding, the crying, the tear of blood as it slides down into the panel. We drip into the traditional Todoroki estate back in the past. Yes, they better animate that transition correctly.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, shout out to the boys Tarnish and Cole in the chat. If you're a part of this discovery, shout yourself out. That is actually the CRC house that the start of NBA took place in.
Huh.
Tarnish and I don't know who else it was, but they figured out during the scans time that if you could literally go back to the start of NBA and look at the CRC house. It's the same exact house.
Oh yeah, he is chilling in there.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Fucking
you got a day off, right? So you got to do Quirk training with me. Why'd you change your mind all of a sudden? I was right. Like I keep saying, it's for your own good. An unusual case to be sure. Your son has inherited an even more powerful form of the fire-based Quirk factor, but he takes after his mother physically, meaning he's not built to endure fire, but rather to withstand freezing temperatures. I have to say, attempting to create custom children is taboo in our Quirk-based society, so I can't advise it. So I think it was in my individual release chapter review where I pointed this out, where I said, I'm pretty sure that based on the way that Toya was grabbing his hair, that he wanted that attention and that he was like trying to like get him to like notice, and that he would have gone out of his way, and he had died alone, allegedly, on the mountaintop because Toya essentially decided he was going to train and learn his dad's techniques on his own, because Endeavor basically told him he was refusing to train him, and that made him feel even worse after already getting the training.
Hey, what panel are you on?
We're down towards the All Might panel. Yes, he somehow saved.
Oh wait, you mean where he becomes like a crazy big hater? The man hears 62 towns get saved, and he's like,
yes, he somehow saved 62 different towns and cities today. We'll never fall to villainy so long as All Might's around. You can surpass All Might, Toya. Listen, Fuyumi. Yeah, I get a little burned, but so what? I can take it. I know my own body better than anyone. But Toya, I don't like when you get hurt either. She's just going to town. What do you know anyway? A girl wouldn't get it. I'm worried, that's all. I already got it in my head that I gotta surpass that guy. Dad's the one who lit that fire under me. No, that would be too much. It's too cruel, especially now that Toya knows what you're hoping to achieve through the children. No matter what I say, he comes home with fresh burns every day. He inherited that pig-headed stubbornness from me. That's the only way to make him give up, since he'll never be the one to surpass.
Ooh, this is just some straight-up coercion here.
Oh, not too old. Oh boy, just looking through the years. All Might's flashing. He's glaring, angry, red. Holy shit. Baby Shoto on the mat, crying. The relief in Endeavor and Ray's faces and the despair in Tolia's eyes.
You can almost see like a mania in Enji's. He's like,
no, Dad. I can do it too. I can surpass him. See, look how strong my flames are already. Look at me. No, why don't you stop? You're covered in burns and you still don't get it. Why? Toya, you have to look beyond all this. Play with Natsuho and Fuyumi. Make some friends at school. There's a whole other world besides the hero stuff. I know you understand that. Holy shit. Take my advice and this will be a distant memory soon. The kids at school all say they want to be heroes. I can't understand that because I've got you for a father. We have to cool him down. You lit this fire in me, Dad, and it's not going out. I can't just pretend it's not there. Look at me, Endeavor. Look at me. Oh, shit. Toya actually tried to kill Shoto. You don't get to claim you're hurting more than anyone. And you're not the only one who didn't really see him. Yo.
That's some chapter, bro.
I was surprised that he straight up coerced her though. Like that was dark even for my standards.
But it's like I feel like it is a little bit of retcon, you know what I mean?
How so? In what way?
Maybe not. It depends how Enji Todoroki evolves as a character, because the way that we saw in the flashbacks that he talks about his brothers that don't look at his failures. You know what I mean?
Well, you have to keep in mind that there's a timeline involved.
Yeah. But like I told you, it is like how many years later?
5.
5.
So
yeah.
Part of the thing that you also have to remember is that children are unreliable narrators.
Mm-hmm.
So to a certain degree, like Endeavor being like, don't look at them, they're failures. He might have only ever said, don't look at them.
No.
Yeah, because children truly forget a lot of things when they place their bias in their hatred. Remember, an adult is different from a child. A child will base their anger and dislike on somebody, and they will amp it up times 10, and they will clearly recall.
No. Adults can do that too. That's not the issue. But like what my point though is that to a certain degree we're getting these contrasting opinions on what people were trying to do. And so I think Shoto and Toya will have more harsh views and Endeavors will be more softened. And so we need to be looking a bit more towards the middle. Because that's what hopefully this flashback is going to start explaining more.
I hope so.
Because one of the things that, she said, I didn't see him too. And we know that Toya died, quote, died after she was hospitalized. Mm-hmm. So there's got to have been something that was done by her, which is probably going to make it so that people would just have issues with this entire family, but that's okay.
It's fine. The full story is coming out. This is not all in play.
Yeah.
There's like a literal whole part 2.
Yeah, so he said part 1 for a reason, so it's not a retcon in any way because there's different narratives to the story. I mean, of course, Shoto and Dabi will have extreme opinions of this, and then Natsu will be neglected. And Hart kind of too, but a lot of his hatred came from Toya going to him. That's where most of his hatred came from. It wasn't just because Endeavor neglected us, but it was a lot of his shit came from his hatred because of what he did to Toya. If you think of every time he bring that nigga up and they were talking, he always either near the reference to Toya or he talks about Toya.
So, and the other thing that I have with this though is that I feel like the fact that I was like, hey, I think this is what's gonna come out of this, like looking back, like at their interactions, and then sure enough, Endeavor being like, yeah, dog, you can't keep doing this. Because the other thing is like Endeavor is smart enough to solve like the most cases. He's smart enough to like stay on top as number one. He figured out the Hawks message within like one day. So it's not like he's an idiot. I don't think he's dumb enough to be like, damn, my son is literally destroying himself. I want him to keep doing it. But like the having a kid to discourage your kid part, that's the part that's fucked up.
Oh no, there was like literally everything. Hold on.
Yeah. Like
everything is wrong with that scene.
Like
from actual proposal.
Yeah, I'm saying him trying to get Toya to stop though was probably the one thing he did right in this chapter. Like clearly, it just backfired horribly.
Nah, bro. Like, bro, you see that panel of them in the darkness, like, cause you know scans, you can't see shit. But like, when you really zoom into the nigga face and his eye is peeking out behind the hands, nigga, I was like, oh shit. Bro, you can feel the emotions clawing off all the characters in this entire fucking chapter. This shit is amazing.
Not to mention, you could tell he's like kind of descending because of how he actually like goes about proposing this to Rei. Like she straight up refuses at first, saying no, and then suddenly, now they're born.
Well, let's see. Hold on, let me read this part. Yeah.
No, that would be too much. It's too cruel, especially now that Toya knows what you're hoping to achieve through the children.
Jason, I understand what you mean. But the thing about it is, you have to, in my eyes, you just have to stay consistent, you know? For the moment, it's not sad because you're like 5 years before that the thing happened. And from what we see, Endeavor become more and more angry because that he can surpass All Might. We saw it in these panels in this chapter. So having him going that way to say that to Shoto, seeing Shoto as the best thing ever, and hearing that he the others are failure, he might have gone wrong, that in that road. You know what I mean? Right now, it seems like they are like a happy family. That's the thing about it.
So
I don't think. Hold on. Can I explain why I think that view is kind of a little bit? I think that view doesn't take into account a lot of the context shown in this chapter. Even when he was at his best, what's fundamentally driving his treatment of Toya is the only tension he got even before he started burning himself was through training. And the fundamental reason why that happens is because he, even at his best, saw them as a vicarious means of fulfilling his ambition. There's still that aspect of dehumanization there that's just not recognized consciously by Endeavor at this point, but you can see it bleed through. So even at his best, he was cool with eugenics.
Does somebody have a heater running in the background?
Oh.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I don't think the chapter even paints him in a good light either, because the only thing it highlights that is correct is him trying to get Toya to stop.
And that in of itself, all that really does is show that he like doubled down in his like negativity.
Yes.
Because as soon as he found out that this son couldn't do it, he was like, I'll make another son to surpass this son and All Might.
Yes.
And so like his solution was just to do it again and do it again.
Yes.
And Toya was aware of that. So the real question is I think what you were kind of hinting at, Squid, is with the coercion.
I mean, that's straight up coercion, though.
Like, how aggressive did that coercion get?
I mean, any coercion is just unacceptable, though.
The fact that you see, because from what we understood from the last flashback is that we just got Andrew Lilovar just came clutch again with the
Viz, man.
With the super chat.
Yeah. I got it. I was just gonna let you finish saying your point first.
Okay, I wanted to say it after this.
Okay. Just like with Gentle and Deku, the school setting also had an effect on Toya by giving him the impression that it's either become a hero or nothing. Correct, yes. Andrew Lilovar.
Yeah, that's true, because he's a child of Endeavor. So everybody, it's like if you're the child of a actor like Will Smith, everybody expect from his son Jaden Smith to be also an actor. You know what I mean? So for with this, these kids has this on their head since a young child, and he associated with his identity being able to be the inheritor of Endeavor, and to surpass him, and to surpass even All Might. It is something that he associated with his identity. And yeah, when you see your father is not happy with you, then he tried to say to you stuff like, yeah, you know what, my child, you can stop it now. You can be a normal child, you can meet people, but everybody talks to me like I'm your son, bruh. You don't understand. You know what I mean? So the stuff I understand more how Toya was as a character, but the thing right now is the evolution. What is really important for me right now is the evolution of Endeavor throughout this flashback. I want the man that said to his child, no, you can't mess with them because they're failures, you have to stay here, I'm going to train you, you'll become the best. I want that man. I want that man back.
Because you're going to get him in part 2, so I don't think...
I want that man back as in the flashback, because it is to show how far that he has come from his past self. You know what I mean? That is something important for me as a fan and a storyteller too, because when you can show that your character started from point A to point A, went to B and C, and that he went back to become more human, you know, more that he started to stop to hate, to be angry, and started to see what he did was wrong. That is a good character progression. You know what I mean? And if you try to recon the fact how he was presented, in my eyes, Horikoshi will lose a little bit, not that much, but he will lose the distance that Endeavor has walked through. You know what I mean?
Whoa! Let's temper ourselves there.
Hold on.
No. I can't hear. I can't hear really well. What is he saying?
Okay, so the thing is that Endeavor didn't lose his abusive nature, though, because it's just that all that's happening is that at the end of the day, also consider this: all of Shoto's accounts of the abuse are secondhand. He was literally a baby, like when this is going on, like a newborn at that. So his take on, like, hold on, somebody has something really beeping in the background, and it's really irritating. No, it's Squid. You got something in the background. Oh man, that really messed up my train of thought. Holy crap. So yeah, he's basically heard from maybe Natsuo, maybe like the more you think about it, the less what would Shoto even know if he didn't really get to talk to his siblings? Like they didn't even know he liked soba. So how would he even know what happened? I don't even mean that as like to disrespect Shoto way, but more like he literally doesn't have access to a lot of information. So a lot of it would be based off of how he's starting to figure out how some of his siblings feel, plus the fact that he went through certain things. So what Toya went through might not be, or it's definitely looking like it isn't the same as what he went through because, and like I said earlier, if Endeavor is smart enough to set up an agency with fire users, get people with compatible quirks, etc., I don't think he'd sit around and be like, let me torture my son with his non-compatible quirk.
No. I didn't. You know. I feel that there is a misunderstanding. I don't think that. I don't think that he went that way with. I forgot his name. Historia. The thing when I think about, I just want to see the evolution, how he became the man that was with the way that he was with Shoto. You know what I mean? Because there is a gap of 5 years right now that we have 5 years. Because the way that Shoto, like you said, you give more examples of what I'm talking about is that Shoto didn't know how his brother were. He just saw them. He didn't know them. He didn't have really talks with them. You know. And it is something really important to see that Endeavor put his child and rip him apart from his brothers. And it shows that the way that he was abusive, the way that he saw things was really different that we see right now. You know what I mean? So there must be an evolution of a devolution, I would say, in character from Endeavor to go from going that everybody stays like you have like a family that is together. We see everybody's together right now. What we saw, the mother with the kids, he's there. You get also Toya. So from that man that was talking to his family, because we can say that that Natsu was too young to remember all this stuff. You know what I mean? But at some point, Endeavor chose to live apart with Shoto, and that's to say the other ones, the failures, they stay do this mundane stuff, going to school, having stuff like this, you know what I mean? But he as a person, he took the responsibility to separate his brothers. Like you said, Natsuo didn't know what was the favorite food of his brother because they never ate on the table together. They never had it. It is because I never took a choice, and I want to see that choice. That's what I'm
let me speak now, then, because I actually see the clarity in everything. Once again, the East faction rises to the occasion. Support our goal. So now I can call back on every single thing every person said in this stream. Major being Anarchy everybody has a different point of view, right? Depending on who you talk to during the situation. If let's put it like this, I got a point that's gonna get everybody right here. If I told you back at the sports festival that Inji Todoroki used to be one of these used to care about his entire family, it was a kind-hearted man, and wasn't the abusive dickhead that you seen, you wouldn't fucking believe me if I told you back at sports festival. The way people perceive you based off of what you've done and what you do actually paints the reputation you have. So the little he knows and the little perception that Shoto has of his father, of course he'll believe everything secondhand that anybody tells him. Now, Natsuo doesn't have the same exact memories that Fuyumi and Dabi have and Toya have. You know why this is? Because, and this explains why Fuyumi feels the way she feels about a loving family. They had a family at one point in time. You can recall you could call your childhood at 5 or 6 years old. But when you go back into it, it's like, okay, wait. Shoto wouldn't have known what the fuck that was like because he was a fucking infant, basically. He wouldn't have known how they used to have. Natsu was like, what, 3 years younger than his sister, 4 years younger? So he wouldn't remember the good times they had either. But Dabi has a twisted point of view because he had the pressure put on him that he can't fulfill. But Fuyumi was that normal child who got, as you see, little fat chubby baby, she was probably spoiled as the way she was anyway. So like, I see her point of view now more than any way I've ever had before, because now you can see that Endeavor always wasn't the dickhead that you see in the story. a couple chapters ago. So and then you got to think, some people, yes, I don't agree with him having Shoto and trying to push Toya aside, but having Shoto doesn't just exclude the entire feelings that Toya has. I'm pretty sure he still wants to keep training, still keep even after Shoto, even more so trying to desperately prove himself. But him excluding himself probably made him Endeavor like, okay, this is probably the best way I can handle this. It wasn't the best way to handle it, but him thinking most like the best way I can handle this is that, and him driving himself into the corner because he feels like he has nowhere else to go in its entirety. Like part 2 is really going to put everything in a full circle. So once again, my GOAT for the start had this shit planned out. You know, hell for it. East facts to the top, boy.
Yeah, like I like what you said, but for me, I just want, like I told you, I don't right now. This chapter is a good one. I like it. Right now I was maybe jumping on the gun. You know what I mean? Jumping on the gun, like going too fast on what I was thinking. I just want Horikoshi to just respect what he that he just put up front. You know what I mean? Because I love the Endeavor as a character, because he is for me the best reading character in the story right now. Like how he's presenting the stuff. So I still consider NG an unreliable narrator. Everybody is an unreliable narrator, but from the stuff that we know, Endeavor. It is shown in this chapter that he went. Aniki, JD, and JD want to hop on.
Oh, all right. Yep, I got you, JD.
Like I was saying, is that Endeavor as a father has a father and as a character has an evolution. You know what I mean? And an evolution of an evolution is how you see it. But I want just that line to be respected. I just want this to be respected. I want to know why he went that far to separate his the education from separate Shoto to his other brothers. You know what I mean? I want to understand why. If it was because he could be in danger next to Toya, because Toya from what we just saw is that Toya went for the kid. He was a baby back then. You know what I mean?
I was just about to say that too. I was about to be like, well, actually, now that I think about it, it could be more better for them than just him. Like separating Toya, because why would you have children that try to kill one another right next to each other?
Right, and that's what somebody actually in the chat was saying, that they were like, what if they separated them because of the danger? Because at the end of the day, now you don't know if any of them like are ever gonna just like randomly be like, you know what, fuck this little nigga. Like, you don't know who's gonna do that now. So to a certain degree, some of the abuse starts to become like a byproduct. And I think this kind of illustrates how abusing like even one person can have such a ripple effect about a family, because Endeavor technically tried not to abuse Toya, but because he had already set him down this path, because he didn't realize that like placing all this emotional burden on children is completely unhealthy, but this is a thing that parents do all the time, which is one of the reasons why people are so easily like able to stay angry with Endeavors, because this is just a really relatable situation of having your parents just dump a bunch of expectations on you. But then for your dad to be like, well, no matter what happens, you're a failure now. And even though that's not how Endeavor meant it or what he was trying to say, that's kind of how it comes off. So
yeah, I want to say something. Real quick. Aniki, it's funny that you say that, because I don't know how many of y'all ever watch Abba and Preach on YouTube.
Yes, I watched them.
You watched it. Yeah, I figured you would. But there's one video. Preach was talking about how he has like 2 older siblings. I think it was older brother, older sister, and their parents. They put this pressure on them, like, okay, whoever graduates and gets into like this particular school or med school, gets a degree first, we'll get them like a really nice ass car, and we'll set them up. And that pressure was like, okay, put them into competition mode. But it's like it already created a pressure, because guess what? It's something you can't compete with, because this brother and sister already had 5-6 years on him.
Hold up, so JD, before you say anything, make sure you change your name.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you about to get yourself exposed.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right, I'll fix it. I'll fix it a little bit.
yeah. But but it's like, okay, you
Yo,
put that
JD,
pressure on
man.
him. You put that pressure on him, but he can't fulfill it because you got siblings that's already 6 years ahead of you in school, and you can't just jump 6 years in school. So how are you supposed to fulfill that into that realm being a doctor? So it just for him, it pushed him off the path of that. For other people, it can try you to push in certain situations, push them to the extreme to compete for the eyes of the prize or be valuable in their parents' eyes, which is basically what happened here. But he couldn't live up to it, like genetically, like at a fucking core of his level. But you see what happened now. Not the move, boy.
What's up, JD?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, what's up? What's up, guys? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing
Pretty
good.
good. I see you. I know you must be feeling a strong way about this chapter.
Facts.
I mean, I keep telling people, like, there is something about Endeavor on the screen of My Hero that really just brings out passion in me, bro. Because I just think when Horikoshi starts writing Endeavor, I feel like his pen starts catching fire. It's just like what he's doing right now is I've never been more invested in My Hero than I have been recently, just because it's like the more I learn about his family and like learning about Dabi now, like I have a different view of Dabi. I love Hawks now because of his backstory and how he tied in that little Endeavor backstory to it. So it's like seeing the dynamic now, and like, you know, it's kind of weird because you would never think Endeavor had like good parenting skills earlier on before, you know, the whole ordeal with Shoto and the wife. But
Yes,
I see that a lot of people, I've seen some people really try to hammer in on Endeavor for telling Toya to live a normal life. And I'm just like, well, I mean, so you mad at Endeavor for being a good parent? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, he's foolish, and like he has responsibility for how Toya ended up, but he acknowledges that. And he said he's inherited my foolishness, and he knows what it's going to lead to. So the fact that he's trying to steer him off that path where he'd end up like him is self-awareness that a lot of parents don't have. So I was shocked.
No, and Angie was always proved to be smart. You know what I mean? To be logical, and it is in character for him to say, "Child, your quirk is not adapted to you. You might die by using it." No, man, just go to school. There's other things than being a hero in life. You know what I mean? It's normal. Yeah. It's in character for him. My vision on this is like, I like the way that
what
he's
doesn't
portrayed.
help. What doesn't hold on.
Yes.
Sorry. But what doesn't help is the fact that Toya was born for that purpose. That is the point of the Quirk marriage, because he wanted his hair to surpass All Might. So if he's being told this purpose at a very young age, you know, he ignited the fire in me.
Yep.
And it's like, you give him this purpose. You say this is the reason he was born, and then before he can even turn 7, you take that away.
Yep.
Like, that is extremely damaging.
Yes. No, it is. And
it is.
Yeah, go ahead and pause. Sorry, I remember you talking.
There's no problem. So yeah, like you said, the thing about it is that Dabi of Toya associated his goal in life from a young purpose. It's like for me, I was always told as a child to be protected from my brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? I was my first sister was born when I was 2, so it became ingrained in me. It's like I wasn't brainwashed, that I was brainwashed from youngster to you have to protect them. You know what I mean? It's something as a big brother for me. I'm always there for my sisters, more from my family than from myself. It is something that I have, and it is something that Dabi had as I am the inheritor of one of Endeavor. I have to surpass him. I have to surpass All Might, you know what I mean? It's something as a young child he was trained for, and it is something taught us. And even going to school, imagine you have this mentality, and everybody tells to you, "Man, your Quirk, you're gonna be a better hero than your father." You know what I mean? That guy had the pressure every time.
I'd also like to. I see a lot of potential cultural influences in this chapter. Like, for example, I believe Ray's story is heavily influenced by like traditional gender roles in society.
Yes.
But I also think this applies to Toya because the eldest male of the household is supposed to take over the business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, this is like it for a lot of places.
Yeah, it is something in many cultures. In African culture, you have
especially African culture. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
You have it's literally the same thing. Like when you marry the woman, if you're from a big family, there is a man from a good family with the guest standards. The family will be super happy to marry their first girl with that man. You know what I mean? And that's what we saw. That's literally in different cultures, things happens like this till today.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So real quick, there's actually a Japanese term that like kind of plays into this called like sekente, which is like the appearance to others, and like how you have to stay within like the parameters of your social role and perform that correctly to make sure you're always presenting this respectable image. This is so extreme of a concept that there's this what's referred to as night moving, where people will often feel sometimes like they aren't living up to their roles and that they carry this shame, so they just disappear. And due to how intense Japanese privacy laws are, like if you just move, you know, like 100, 200 miles away and you don't like go all over social media, people very well might not find you. Like ever, just off of how well your information is protected. So there's like this whole, like even when you think about with Toya, like that plays into it too, where if you think about it, he's got these expectations culturally to take over the business as the oldest male, protect his family. He's failing to live up to that. His quirk is killing him. So he goes out of his way to try to do this big show of it and train on the mountaintop anyway, only to eventually realize, nope, I'm literally melting my skin off. So he just disappears into the night, not to be seen again. But instead of like leaving in shame, he comes back in rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cultural influence in the chapter.
Yeah, for sure. And somebody just like asked me a question that was like a moldy fetish. Just asked me how do like no. So let me read the question because I just lost it. The chat keeps like sending stuff. Okay. So how is NG in my head as it's worse? So for me, what we saw in the flashback I forgot his name, Todoroki Shodo, is that the way that he is focused on himself, focused on his goal to surpass All Might, and to give that to Shoto. That's the thing about it. That for me, it is the stuff that he's at his worst. That the way that he was training him, the way that he was obsessed with that thing, and the impact of his family, the stuff that we saw in the sports festival. That is for me his worst. Allez, that's what. Allez, I never saw worse than this as for this character in the manga as portrayal. So for me, that is his worst. And the thing is that I love the fact that in the beginning that he was trying to do his best as a parent, but step by step, you see that step by step he was going to that path of being like the angry, hateful hero that he will become at the first time that we will meet him. Yes,
I think his shame at how Toya ended up sparked in a negative reaction on how he treated Shoto, where what happened with Toya absolutely cannot happen with you. You have everything Toya didn't, so you must succeed no matter what. I've already gone too far. And I think that's what made him push Shoto to that level that caused Shoto to end up hating him. So overall, the entire family ended up blaming him for Toya, and then ended up blaming him for Shoto as well. And then Ray saw that as well, and it's just like, this is all one big mess. But I think the most ironic part about it is that how he started off was more of a case where, you know, in these families, and I remember when you were bringing up the culture aspect of it, especially in African households, and Mpazo, I know you can relate to this, but the man of the house has to be everything. Like, the amount of pressure that is on the man is, if you have to succeed, you have to be the breadwinner, you are the pinnacle, you have to be the number one in whatever you're doing, and then you have to pass it on to your next child. So Endeavor's character is all about that obsession of succeeding and being the man that he has to be, not that he wants to be. And I think he put that pressure on Toya, and that he wasn't ready for that pressure. And the fact that he was never going to be able to handle that pressure based on his biological structure, it's is such a harsh reality for a child that it just, you know, it set him on a path of insanity. And Endeavor at that point realized, like, I'm messed up here, but I can't go back because of that whole cultural understanding that someone has to succeed me. Someone has to be the best. Otherwise, I'm failing the Todoroki name. And it's you know, I feel like people in Western culture can't truly understand this just because they live in a more liberal and individualized society where they can kind of choose what they want to do. But for someone like me, you know, or someone like Mpazu who grew up in that structure where for me, I'm either an engineer, doctor, or a lawyer, or I'm a failure. You know, you understand where that comes from, and you know what's going on. You know, and I think Japanese culture is just like that.
Well, it's also important to note that, you know, in general, kind of like almost universally, like, you know, these times change. It's still prevalent, but not as many families are into that, like, specific stigma as of now.
So, and another thing that I want to just like kind of hammer in on that cultural point that you mentioned is like you have to, you know, carry on the Todoroki family name.
Yes.
Especially with All Might having such an American image.
Yep.
Endeavor really does need to defeat him, also as a matter of like Japan pride, because Todoroki is a classic traditional Japanese name. And if you think back to like when you have the dorm rooms and when Shoto had his setup, it was like the classic with the walls and all like, like you had the whole like classic layout of traditional Japanese. So like there's a lot of extra pride involved here that goes not even just beyond like himself as a person, but also like the idea that they're being saved by the Americans is kind of like being presented here. Oh,
not to mention, I think what could also fuel the rage Engie a little more is that the youngest ended up having to inherit the business. There's also another shame to that, to where if the daughter does it or the youngest, like, you get an L for that in these streets.
Yeah, that's facts. Even for me as a that's good because I have like my own experience. When you fail as a first, because the first one as a male first one in the family, you have to be the one to be the best at everything. You have to be the example. It is something that I was from I don't know how long I remember. It is something that I was hammered in my head. You have to be the best. You have to succeed. You have to go to university. You have to have a great job. Everything that you have to do have to be perfect. You know what I mean? It is a pressure that you have as a person. It didn't help me at all, but it is something that it is ingrained also in these cultures. It's something that we see. Just watch some anime. The first child has always something. In good ones, you have always the thing like even Jujutsu Kaisen in the last episode we get the Kamo family with the bloodline. That's a great example of this. That's a great example. What my brother? No, your brother don't have the thing. He's there the first one, but still, you're the one. You know what I mean? It is something that is really important, and I love that Horikoshi worked on subtlety, stuff like this, and that's what makes great stories. I'm coming back. Okay.
The more I think about it now, it's just very amusing. Why everybody felt the way they felt, and Fuyumi was always the neutral one who just wanted her family back. Because she really had the best memories out of everybody.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really, really good point.
She really
I did not think about that.
Yeah, I'm really like thinking about it again. I'm like, bro, she has the best memories out of everybody. Like I told them earlier, Jay, if you looked at Endeavor Since Sports Festival and then you said, well, really used to be a kind man, this and other, would you really believe me? I told you this back at Sports Festival. Only Sports Festival existed. If I told you, like, yeah, if you really know Endeavor, like, he's really not that bad. Like, years ago, he wasn't like this. Some things happen. Well, if I told you that when only Sports Festival existed, you'd be like, nigga, no, we ever beat this kid. He got court marriages going, like all this type of shit. But like, it makes sense. Like, the further you go, and you've done this deed. Like, fuck, I tried to do this so Talia could leave it alone, but it only made shit worse. And it's like, he's becoming a monster more and more, and he's trying hard. Like, he's not doing the right thing, but he was doing what he felt like right. So he's driving us up to become more and more of a monster. And then like the rage and aggression and all this other stuff just really makes more sense why he did what he did. Like,
there's also something I want to add into this about that Fuyumi point though. She's probably the only one of the kids to fully remember this incident besides Toya either.
Facts.
In addition to that though,
agreed.
when you like kind of look back to this, you can see even back then she was protecting Natsuo, because you see she's immediately grabbing him in the background to get him away from Toya too, to make sure he doesn't get hurt. So it's kind of like that quiet strength of the Todoroki. When we were kind of talking about this, I think last week or the week before that, I don't know if you ever like talk about this, JD, but like the Todoroki women kind of just always hold it down.
Yeah.
And like Fuyumi's kind of just been like, she's got the best memory. She knows what the family can get to, how like they can have a good experience together.
Yeah.
So she's the one trying to like guide it there, whereas everybody else is busy like head up their own asses for various good to bad reasons. But she's been the one who's stuck, like basically the only one who's like, I'm not traumatized, so I got to handle everything. Great.
She's the rock, man. She's the rock of the family.
Hey man, you know, like Fumi's got that amazing grace, you know.
I just really like this chapter too, because it's like now after being a Dobby fan for so long, not only do I have the Dobby reveals being one of the greatest moments, I get the glow because niggas used to always try. There's really nothing to Dobby's character. He just looked kind of cool, but he really hollow and empty. He a bum, but Dobby is Toya, and this backstory is Toya. So the depths of this nigga character. Drop it down, deep. So I was like, man, it's so fucking beautiful. Like, Horikoshi really gonna have you room for every single LOV member up to the point they death at this rate. The rate we keep going down.
So you say that, and now I'm curious if you guys think we're gonna get the wrong way to put out a fire part 2, and then like Toya Todoroki or Dobby origin.
Definitely.
Definitely,
this is the bread and butter. Dobby origin. Oh, I cannot wait for that.
He's doing.
You got it.
Go ahead.
You got it.
No, I'm saying I'm getting very similar vibes to the Shigaraki flashback and the structure of the way it's going. It's like we're gonna get the end of the story. Like he's not gonna stop. He's not gonna pull an Oda and just disappear to somewhere else. Nah, he's staying here. He's staying here.
JD to the words. Despite the Oda thing, JD to the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say that. It's just like the Shigaraki thing.
A funny thing about this chapter is I just love this one chapter where All Might saves 62 towns in one day, and all Enji can do is just punch the air. Imagine me that big of a hater.
That paneling when it was like Enji at the top and then All Might in the middle, like just flexing again. Then Enji got even more red, just time went on past, and then it's like Ray at the bottom. I was like, bro, you can feel like there's passing time where like, but you gotta think about it. That's one day. Each day I'm trying my hardest and peak, and this nigga All Might is making it look like it's the easiest thing in the world. And
exactly.
Then I got Toya at home who keeps doing the same shit every fucking day, and I have these other kids. It's like, bro, I would probably go fucking insane too. Like, bro, like every fucking day on the news, it's this nigga doing this shit, killing it. Meanwhile, I'm at home with a child. I put too much pressure on, and now it's like he's a failure, but it's not just because he didn't do what he wanted, but that's not a problem. Because then he was like, bro, you're not a failure. It's like, no, look, you can't do it. It's okay. And then like keep trying and you keep suffering. And like now it's like he really didn't do anything wrong at that point to get in the position like to get cursed how he did get cursed. He just drew a shorthand.
Yeah.
And then like
I mean, he just kept catching so many L's here. Like I'd be a little mad too if every day I'm just constantly getting outdone by a guy. Like if this is a sprint, this man is walking. And I'm out here just fighting for my life, out here just sprinting, tearing my muscles and everything. He's just walking to the finish line and meeting.
And that's what I like. I want people to understand is like you should never underestimate a man's ambition. Like you should never do that. But people who are driven and as ambitious as Endeavor is, you have to understand like when your rival is. It's like everything's easy to him. And Endeavor is, no matter what he's doing, he's grinding all the time. And just to see someone have it so easy, it boils your blood. As a man, their pride is everything. No matter what people say, a man's pride is everything. You know, how you keep that pride in check is what really shows how mature of a man you are. And Endeavor knows he's not mature. He said it himself. He's got my foolishness. So he's a foolish person. But at the same time, it's like when you stomp on the man's pride, there has to be a way. So for him, he's like, all right, well, if it's so easy for him, I gotta find a way. My ambition, my children, I'm gonna be proud of my children. And you can see it's misguided because look at how he treats Shoto. He's so proud of Shoto's quirk My man is screaming like that dad at the football game, like, yo, that's my son, bro. You see my son?
Oh,
That's my
son.
bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, his son will make a free throw. He's out here screaming. Like, yo, that is who Endeavor is, but he's misguided. You know, I hate to make this comparison, but he's kind of like an evil LeVar Ball in a way. You know?
Oh my lord.
Oh my God,
but you know,
you did say that shit.
But you know it's the same thing because LeVar Ball put his ambition into all his kids. And it's like Shoto is like LaMelo Ball, and look at him now, you know, and it's like it's just a hilarious comparison. But I like that there's so much depth to his character. I like that. Even
so
though
is Toya like Lonzo Ball?
He really is like Lonzo. He really is. And then you got LaMelo, who's Natsuo. He can't do nothing. He's just there.
Bro.
Not LaMelo, Leangelo, there.
We got
Also, I just kind of want to emphasize like one of the points you made about how like All Might is just casually doing things that Endeavor has to do. Endeavor has some of the best paneling in the entire manga.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because of how much effort his quirk actually takes to utilize properly. Because like when you look back to that fight with Shigaraki, you see like All Might just would have leaned back. Endeavor has to pinpoint, set flames on his shoulders, shoot a thrust backwards, then like angle his hand, pull that right, make sure he's applying the right amount of thrust to his other shoulder, like do all these different things, manually adjusting with like he's flying a jet when he's himself, and All Might just kind of does these kinds of things. Like he has to use like his highest firepower to stay afloat, and All Might just does.
Think about it like this, okay? Like All Might is like LeBron James, but Endeavor is like J.R. Smith compared to him, you know?
Oh, not J.R. Smith. All right, you gotta give him like I don't know, like Carmelo. Give him Carmelo, not J.R. Smith.
Shout out from I typed long comments about Spider-Man. Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything? Looking back at Ray's dialogue in Sports Festival, do you think Ray was actually referring to Toya when she said him? That's actually something I wanted to bring up, because for all we know, like Shoto could have just heard, I can't stand the look in his eyes, his face. It's like looking at him. But we don't know, like for all we know, Shoto could have like just misheard part of that, and she was talking about Toya, because that was before the Toya incident where he died.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, like I keep having to throw up the quotes for that, but so like my question is, do y'all think that there's a chance Ray was freaking out more about Toya than Shoto, since we do have this man literally just tried to murk his baby brother on sight?
He really said, if I see you in these streets, it's on sight.
Also, like when Dobby was like, I tried to kill you, I was thinking about killing you, Shoto. Like I thought he meant when we pulled up at training camp, I thought maybe I'd kill you there. Not back when you was fresh out the womb, I tried to murk you. Like that wasn't what I thought he meant.
I mean, hey, you know, sometimes you just build different.
Dobby is built different, man. I think it's so. My question is now, the way his body is, that's as a result of him using his quirk. But has he gained a resistance, or is he still just in pain every time he uses it?
I think he just burned himself so badly, his nerves are just compromised.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I think that goes to that. I was about to say, I think you can really burn your nerves to the point where you don't feel. I think it's almost like an opposite effect of frostbite. If I'm not mistaken, somebody would have cleared.
No. You can cause enough nerve damage through burning through past the skin layer. And that's why he even says that's a lot of burning. I can't feel a thing though. Like he literally just has that much nerve damage in his arms now that he can't properly feel things. That's why when he was like, I'm not that big on feelings, it was like emotionally and literally physically, I can barely feel things anymore.
Actually, in the Japanese, he says he can't feel anything.
See? Again, same concept. Physically or emotionally. Like
I'm so glad JD came through. We needed that, sis.
Like I said, man. Go ahead, bro.
I was about to say, JD, like that one transfer student that just came, the new special character just came in real quick with the assist. You know how you get that, like you know how the world character that's badass as fuck that just pop in every now and then. Yeah. When they pull up, they always come through. That's what JD just did right there.
I'm crying. I said, whenever we talking Endeavor, man, lob me the link. I'm here. I'm always here for Endeavor.
So we gonna see you
man.
next week too? Bet.
Oh yeah.
See, we got to get Sayas in here with JD. This will be.
Well, he don't like.
Sayas
like
loves Endeavor.
Oh, as he should.
She's the number one.
I think she's neutral
Endeavor
on Endeavor. I think she's neutral on Endeavor.
Shit, when you buy a body pillow for a character, ain't no neutral.
Yeah, there's no neutral there.
Actually, we didn't get a body pillow yet. We got to get on that.
Hey, listen. When you had the choice and you down for it, shit.
You know who else actually loves Endeavor a lot? I don't know if you knew, but Dritz is a huge fan of Endeavor as well. He's loving the chapters as well.
Oh, good. Because I know.
We don't talk. Well, I don't talk to him, but I can never tell that.
I think Dritz. Because so the thing is, a lot of people who don't like My Hero that much still love Endeavor, and that's usually like just how it goes. Like even if you don't like the series, you're like, nope, Endeavor's a good character. This is real. Like Endeavor's character is so grounded in reality, and like I feel like even if you aren't Japanese or if you aren't African, like if you even understood like or had a family that like did the whole, well, you got to do all the chores in the house. You're the oldest. Yep. You got to do all that. Like you're like, oh yeah. Like for me, my older brother moved out when I was 10, so I had like that dynamic shift where I like started having to do all the stuff, and I was like, oh, this is terrible.
Yep.
This is terrible.
It's like being the oldest, man. It's I don't know. It's like I want to say it's a blessing and a curse, but I feel like it's more of a curse than a blessing, to be honest with you. Like if I'm being genuinely honest.
You the prototype for all the parenting.
And it's like this is just from like an external perspective. Imagine like the internal turmoil you got to deal with on a personal level. You know, the fact that you have that image and that expectation on you. You know, and God forbid your parents are, you know, pushing it on you every minute of your life too. It's just like Jesus, man.
Like, now listen to all that. I'm really glad I had the freedom to do whatever the fuck I wanted to. When I was the oldest with my baby sister, but like we didn't have the same. I was with my mom's with her stepdad because my dad died right before I was born. But my mom had like she had a stepdad she had a stepdad, and then we had my baby sister. So we ain't got the same dad. We got the same mom. I ain't really fuck with a nigga like that because he a dickhead or whatever. But like it's like I think around the time I found out he was cheating and shit. He was cheating, but I ain't know at the time. So I told my boss, I was like, oh, he brought a friend over, you know. And like this lady, they went to the room, but you know, I didn't know what the fuck was going on because I'm like 10 at the time. And she found out, she flipped out. So, you know, they broke up. But it's like, I had all this freedom to just do me at any point I wanted to. Like, my sister was like a whiz in school, but I had like talent for other things. My mom always let me just do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And Matt's like, go ahead, you know, I'll support you, this, that, and the other. But my thing with JD, like y'all said, like, yes, I didn't experience that like pressure, like some of the African cultures and other cultures have.
Yeah.
But every person that's watching the stream now, I'm pretty sure y'all seen a movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many movies in this world or TV shows in this world cover different ethnicities and different races having to deal with the pressure of being an older brother, older sibling in different cultures, and you having to be a doctor or whatnot. Like, that's a stereotypical joke that Asians have to be a doctor or you're a failure. The same goes for Africans. Like, that's just a stereotypical joke. So I know people know what that's like because it's really not. It's actually fucking true for the most part. Like, you have to be something special in those cultures. Like, you have to be somebody, especially the oldest, the leader, and everything falls upon you. You're the firstborn. You got to make everybody look good. And then if you're the last one and everybody else already accomplished, then you got to live up to their expectations. So it's like, God damn, that shit just.
I mean, either way, you're catching an L.
And see, like Tyler Hawk just said in the chat, he's the youngest, but he's also the only male. So he's still.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's different too. I'm not gonna lie, because you better be that protector, or man, boy.
Like, and the thing that I love about My Hero is that the more stuff that I've like researched about this, the more I realize it's kind of like a retelling of contemporary Japan history, actually, with these kinds of story beats within it. So
I have a question for y'all.
What's up?
So you know what I was talking about, the eldest male inheriting the business. Do you think if Fuyumi had hot and cold, do you think she would have been a successor? Or do you think that because of the cultural divide, she would have also been kind of neglected because she's not the proper hair because she's a woman.
That's interesting. I think just based on how traditional we see the culture that Endeavor is from, and the way that marriage happened, I think Endeavor would underestimate her and would look for a son. I think Endeavor would actually underestimate her, even if she had hot and cold. He'd probably try and get a son with the same quirk.
And I'm thinking about it, like I think part of the reason why the top 10 and like I think hero work is still mostly seen as a man's profession. I don't think it's talked about a lot, but I definitely think that that's probably a part of like that's still a thing that's kind of heavily pushed, because I think to a certain degree that might be where a bit of Ryukyu's insecurity comes from, which is like she might feel like it's not my hero work that's getting respected necessarily, but you know, me being pretty. I feel like that's why Mirko is so aggressively in your face to a certain degree. Not just that she's got like that person, but it's like, nah, like you're not gonna just turn me into a fuck bunny. Like you will respect me for the warrior, the hero. Like like who she is. Like almost all the like, there's always like this commercialization attached to the girl heroes that you don't necessarily see as heavily pushed on the male ones. And I think that's directly reflective of how society works, where you think back to, for all of us who read and watch Jujutsu Kaisen, think about what they say, like it's not enough for a female sorcerer to just be beautiful or good, you have to be both.
Yeah.
And I think that's very quietly established in My Hero as well, that like you need to have that marketability. Because like Endeavor got to be the number 2 hero because he was solving cases. And yeah, he still had his coffee brand, like she's on the back. But he wasn't doing interviews and stuff. But I don't think a woman hero would have been able to get that high up
without those interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug said Endeavor was min-maxing children. Well, I also think the Todoroki family kind of plays out like a borderline play on Punnett squares, where it's like you have like the 4 options that come up and like how the genes can represent themselves. But these also, somebody in the chat wanted to say that you meant legs and not hands, JD.
Oh, there you go. My bad. Hands is like a universal term for any part of your body as long as it's swinging at something.
Hey man, listen, she can be swinging at me. I'm fine with that. She can throw whatever she want at me. Catch that motherfucker.
I don't think I caught Dustin's stream. How does he feel about the Todoroki flashback?
I don't watch any like spoiler based content.
Okay, fair enough. Oh yeah, that's right. You only review the official.
Yeah, he only reviews. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how he felt either.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
But yeah, I know Watkins. We got Watkins loading in.
Yeah, waiting on.
All right,
him.
Watkins, don't be shy. Like, welcome aboard.
Yeah, they be waiting for you, bro. I don't know why you be in the comment section when you know you got the cosign.
I'm trying to think. Oh, what about Natsuo? How do you think he's? Do you think that he's kind of warped his perception as though he's not willing to understand what happened to Toya? For him, it's only just you did this to Toya and this is your fault. Because it seems like he's more angry about Toya than Shoto.
I don't think I think one, because he got to spend more time with Toya. 2, I think there is a part of Natsuo, like I don't think Natsuo resents Shoto anymore, but more than likely Natsuo would have had a phase where he would have recognized and kind of resented Shoto at some level, like that, just because it's obvious like dad only spends time with one of us. So you kind of have to like eventually like confront that, especially as an older brother still, where it's like, damn, he really went to the youngest before me even. So there's like that cultural slap there too. Where with Natsuo, it kind of feels like Endeavor like bypassed him. He was like, I'm not even gonna talk to you about hero shit. Not after what happened to Toya. Like I think Endeavor's issue seems to be that he overcorrects for like everything he does. Yeah. And it ends up leading to like disastrous results. Like with Toya, instead of just sitting down and being like, hey, Toya, your body is going to keep burning. It's never going to get better because of your medical condition. Like, yes, that sucks to hear. But if you sit down and you talk to your kid, especially when they're like 7, 8 years old, kids understand the idea of being sick. So if you can frame it that way, then the kid will be like, oh, I'm sick. And then that makes it so that using my quirk is bad. but he didn't do that. He was just kind of like, look, little nigga, you're done.
Well, here that's dangerous, and it makes sense. This is why a lot of people, this is why parenting is so difficult, right? There's no real wrong or right answer. It's more about how the child responds. Because you tell the kid he's sick, once he's 12, 13 years old, he finds out, oh, you've been lying to me my whole life. Is everything you told me a lie? And they build that resentment, and then he just turns into Dobby just at a later stage. So it's just like, do you fault Endeavor for being straight up?
I would consider that, like, you could argue that your quirk being effectively allergic to your own quirk to a certain degree is a form of sickness.
Okay.
That's how to me, like, if my own quirk is kicking my ass, like, that might as well be a sickness. Like,
yeah, because everybody has one, and they're like, you the only person like can't do it. Like,
out here getting your ass beat by your quirk, meanwhile your class
getting folded by your own quirk.
Niggas probably like Rock Lee and Guard. Meanwhile, you breaking your own body just by breathing. Come on now, what type of shit? Mr. Glassman type beat? No, son, that's a sickness. I'm walking around like Mr. Glassman in this bitch. That's not okay. That is not okay.
You want to know what's interesting? The parallel between Dobby and Deku in regards to how their quirk affects their body is kind of interesting. Because in a way, Deku kind of has the same ailment, but he just doesn't care. He kind of gets used to it. I think it's a case where now that we have support, like support items are more prevalent, it could have been possible that they could have made a support item to help with Dobby's skin and allow him to use his quirk. But it's too late now. But they kind of just had held hope. Yeah,
it's funny what you said that, because in EA there was a direct reference to Toya and Endeavor. When Deku was doing that whole spiel about how his body fucks it, and his quirk fucks up his body, and how you gotta do this to manage this, that, and other output, Endeavor was like, "Oh, you just like us, son. Like when you hurt yourself, it's like you like forget the exact line. But he's talking about how you hurt yourself, your body, your quirk hurts you, and like you're just like us." And then like he made a little nod, and Deku was like, "Us?" He's like confused. But if you look deeper, like of course that's about Toya,
yeah,
specifically. And then So somebody asked, "Do we know Natsu's quirk?"
He doesn't have a quirk, right?
No, they got quirks. It's just we pretty sure there's ice based off their hair, and that there weren't Endeavor's prodigies. We just because Natsu was sensitive to heat. That's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a fact. We do know.
Okay.
And then since their hair is white, we would have since Toya's hair was, I think, red before. Then it turned to white. Then I'm pretty sure that would have figured that if they have their white hair, they would get raised genetics. And that's why Toya's hair turned white over the course. And then if they have red, they have fire. Just how Shoto's right side is fire, but his left side is ice, and it matches the color scheme of each one. Then by that deduction, you could assume that white hair means having ice.
Toya's white hair, though, it seems to be more of a byproduct of stress, like a combination of stress and those genetics. Because you remember, it's like, it kind of ties in with like a theory that I'm like formulating about quirks and the way they interact with DNA. But it seems like the more, like, if you remember, like once Shigaragi's quirk had like this massive manifestation and like his hands were kind of torn up a little bit or whatever, boom, his hair finally turns white or whatever. Eri, born with white hair, boom, pops off. Dobby, this quirk is like ripping him apart. It's stronger than Endeavor's quirk. Endeavor's quirk was already one of those high tier ones. There seems to be like that singularity point beyond singularity point where it just starts to tear you down. And like I think we talked about how it might not even be that Dobby doesn't have now we get confirmation that Dobby has like a frost body. But even if he didn't have a frost body, we straight up did the math. He's as hot as like a red giant. Like that, the star level temperatures. Human skin isn't supposed to be on the surface of a red giant.
Yeah,
that is goddamn true.
And
I mean, you speak for yourself, bro. Me and JD just built different. I was suntanning on Mars. I mean, I was suntanning on one of those stars the other day, bro.
I'm crying.
Like,
couldn't All For One? Couldn't he do something about that? Couldn't he fix Dobby up? Or am I tripping?
You're not tripping to a certain extent. It is plausible. It's plausible.
I don't think Dobby actually wants to get fixed up, though. I'm not gonna lie. I actually think he.
Yeah. No, I think he's fully descended into the idea that he's eventually going to die to his own quirk, and he's just kind of making sure to have fun on his ride there.
and drag those niggas down with him.
Yep.
That is his plan, to drag those niggas all down with him.
He is the poster child for bitter niggas. He's just a bitter nigga. If you really wanna really simplify it.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta be a hating ass nigga. That's just the
Hey
way it
man,
is.
listen.
That's how I am with Chopper, bro.
Listen, apple don't fall far from the tree, man.
Like,
but since we're on this topic,
somebody was asking if all of them cares.
Probably
but yeah,
not.
what were you gonna ask?
Yeah, well, so I guess now is a good time to drink. I talked to Tarnish and a couple of other boys. Why well, fully directing this, but I seen exactly why a lot of heroes, other than it not being the full war and the PLF war was really just a setup for what was to come, as you see now. I actually seen why, with not even just this chapter, but like I actually seen why a lot of these characters didn't die. Like rest of heroes that we care about didn't die as of right now, and it's thanks to these 4 characters. You got 2 goats, which would be Crust and Aizawa, right? Yeah. Now on the other spectrum, guess what? Guess who the 2 bums are? Native and Yoramusha. Now, what do Native and Yoramusha have in common?
Think we get followed by State.
Exactly right. Fake ass heroes. And what do Crust and Aizawa have in common? 2 goats who one sacrificed their life and the other was putting his life on the line with a knife as a fucking demon was clawing at his body, less than 2 feet away from him, right? If you put that and that together, anybody that's standing now in the face of all this shit after we just seen a massive wave of heroes quit down and just give up and just like fuck this shit, like Yoramusha and these other niggas, anybody that's still in the game now after all this, guess what they are? A true hero. That way, the respect for anybody that you had before skyrockets through the roof more now, because you were like, all right, these fuck ass niggas just quitting, but they're in the streets. They're in the streets. Anybody now that's still here now is a real hero because they grinding through the streets. They done the hardest. It was easy before, but this is the hardest time they ever faced now. You don't have to just deal. Yeah, you don't have to deal with just villains. You got villains, and then you got vigilanteism and all types of other shit just happening in the street. So think about it. Anybody you respect before is like, all right, bro. This nigga a real hero, unlike these other bums that just got the fuck out of here. So when they do inevitably pass, because some people don't think that Shigaraki for some reason would leave a lot of pros alive for like what I'm not on a Carnage thing, but if I'm rising to the top, why would I keep people strong enough that can be a threat to me in the future? Because all when he was told this nigga during the sports festival, tomorrow, watch these niggas carefully because later on down the line, they can be a threat and pose a threat to you. What happened is all 3 of those niggas put a team effort in to take down Shigaraki along with other people. Had he took that note of that and killed these niggas earlier, wouldn't be in this position. But like he said, he's done underestimating the heroes. If I'm Shigaraki, I'm not gonna leave anybody that's a threat to me alive. Like I'm not gonna be leaving these top 10 niggas like roaming around search. All right, you injured here now, but you better not come back. No, I'm gonna get them out the paint. I'm gonna get as many people as I can out the paint when it's their time to strike. Because remember, they caught in a back foot, but like as they rise to the top and you close out all the people that are actual real heroes, their death will mean more than what they would have in the actual war, which was just a setup.
Guys, we just get the super.
Yeah, I was waiting for East to get done with that. So I'll type long comments about Spider-Man spitting once again. Crazy theory. Since Toya was obviously stopped, do you think Fuyumi was caught in the blast, getting her glasses and starting Inji's physical abuse? That would actually further solidify her looking at Endeavor as a person with range, because it would be like he tried to stop Toya. Toya is the one who injured her. She told Toya to stop. Endeavor told Toya to stop. So the perspective that Natsuo has, and that's the other thing about Natsuo being so young. Natsuo isn't factoring in that like 4-year-old Fuyumi was like, I think it's bad when you get hurt. So like the little kid and the adult were both saying for the same reason you shouldn't use your quirk. So Natsuo, like, yes, Toya is a child, and it's like weird to be like he kind of has to admit that he just kind of made some bad choices as a kid.
Yes.
Like you were told not to use your quirk and that it was basically causing you a lot of pain and harm. So why are you mad at everybody for trying to stop you from having pain and harm? And I get
Toya's basically that kid who gets a fork and keeps putting it in the outlet. No matter how many times you tell him to stop. Also, hello.
That's Tom Watkins. What's popping?
Have you met kids that do that?
Yeah, dude, that's a real question right there.
Stupid kids out there. Yeah. There are some dumb kids out there.
Yeah, that's rough. Welcome back, Squid.
Hey.
Dude, y'all can carry the conversation.
All right, Aniki. I gotta do this One Piece review, but thanks for having me on, bro.
Hey man, glad to have you on. You're always welcome. Have a good day.
Can't wait to see you next week. Can't wait to see you next week, JD.
Yeah.
Of course, if Endeavor, you know what I'm saying? If Endeavor's still here, you know you're gonna see me. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, well, you know how you know. Listen,
Wait,
this is
the
part
Viz
one.
finally
No
works.
Super
The Viz finally works after over an hour. I can't wait to read Jujutsu Kaisen now.
I had to read my stuff on Manga Plus.
Jujutsu Kaisen was great this week.
Okay.
I'm waiting. I'll just peep everything at the stream because I don't think this one's gonna run as long as they usually do.
Well, yeah, because like this one is a very there's not a lot of margins for discussions on this one. Like, this isn't.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, this isn't like a hyper speculative one. This one, like, you just talk about what went down. And
who's this? Naoya is pretty sexist.
Also, okay, real quick, Watkins. Now I'm curious. How did you feel about the Sanji stuff in the One Piece chapter?
I mean, I've gotten to the point where I really don't care about anything Sanji.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, we're just doing this beat again. Okay, great. Just get out of there and do your own thing. Like, a lot of people care a lot, and that's fine, but I don't. And that's where I'm at.
It's kind of like, cool, I don't care about this plot point. Let's go. Like,
yeah.
And I think that's what
I did see how the. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that's what some people are more over annoyed about is that, like, they're like, I don't want the Sanji plots to be things that you're just like, yeah, can we? Okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it's like we get it. He doesn't kick women. How many more times do we have to see that? Come on.
Ooh, now you're down bad. All right, I'm messing with this.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm looking at Undead Unluck this week. But yeah, I don't know. I think we might actually have like our fastest stream because it's it was easy, clear topic.
Yeah.
Well, and Sanji, yeah, he kind of got slapped in the bum roll for this.
Yeah.
Remember 4 Kids with the Brooklyn Sanji?
I still love the Brooklyn accent. I know that's controversial.
I mean, like, I had some problems with it, but I prefer that Sanji compared to this one. It's that bad.
Yeah. And I expect Bakugo to fight a bunch of high ends. Like, I think he's gonna be Nomu busting. He's gonna be the
Nomu killer, like the Sakura of the Gracie killer. He's gonna be the Nomu killer.
Agree. Oh, speaking of this, because that has to do with like amping up power scaling and growth in time. I'm going to say this right now to you people who oppose the time skip but don't see the point of a time skip, because you have a bias or you're against it. You have this notion in your head where whenever we say time skip, you think it means cutting off all the aftermath for God knows whatever reason, although not a single person has ever said that. You people get into your head that we mean to skip over every single thing that's supposed to happen right now and just dump into the future, just straight up. No, nobody's meant that. Nobody has said that. Of course, you will follow the things that need to happen, which means aftermath, the villain takeover, and then after that, you get a little time, and then it will be a time skip after one last major event. That's what we mean by time skip. That's the unison agreement between people that say time skip. For some reason, you people don't want one. Just conjure up this idea of memory in y'all heads that we just said, I skip everything and just says how time skip. No, and don't ever say that shit. I don't know what's wrong with y'all and thinking that anybody with a brain that would even think that was okay. especially after what Horikoshi, everything Horikoshi set up. So that's my first and last time saying this shit on stream. Now that I said in the video, you can hear it clear as day. I'm getting tired of that shit. Every time we say something about time skip, well, I don't think we should skip this. No shit, Sherlock. Goddamn. Use your brain. When did I say we should skip the aftermath? Never. Just because you didn't want the time skip, now you think now you just putting words in my mouth that don't even make sense.
Wow, I heard he supported North Korea. That's wild.
Yeah, don't talk about my alignments and alliances out on stream, bro.
Exactly. The 4Kids opening is he.
Oh damn. So what did I miss? Because I'm cooking while being here. So
there was just a lot. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because Twitter reloaded on my computer, and the first thing I see is Volt being like, "Asa's new form sucks, but the spread this week were Hino."
I mean, listen. This is what I mean by premium mid, high quality mid. We're talking that caviar mid, you know.
7, 6.
That mid VR, if you will.
Mid VR. Yeah, you know that gourmet mediocre.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes. We're talking about the new chapter of.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Black Clover.
Yeah, Black Clover. You know, child.
Look, this chapter, the concept is like, but the whole design I thought to myself, why?
I think the Devils are just a little too skinny. Like, I think that's just what it comes down to. Is that like they're just a little too skinny.
He could have done an armor. I don't know why an armor, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it right now because the design for the Devil Unions in Black Clover for the moment are hit or miss.
Xenon's is great. Xenon's is amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Xenon is amazing. The girl also.
There was one armor where it looked like he had Tonka trucks for like shoulder guards.
Okay, that was tough because that's one of my favorite characters. But
Nacht has 4 designs. 3 on 4 of them are fucking great. The other one looks like Big O. Really?
It's like, hey guys, check out my new cosplay.
Also, wait, Chocolate Thunder. If you're gonna say that Black Clover is filet mignon, you should just call it filet mignon.
Damn, y'all try some. Listen, man. Listen.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're gonna use filet mignon, like just mignon, like you know, like.
I don't read BC, but what I will say is I've seen Knock, and that nigga look raw as fuck, son. Like,
Knock is cold.
That nigga, like, I think I see his like little demon things at one point. I'm like, hey, bro, cuz kind of raw, bro. Hold on, who is this?
No, I mean, he kind of clean like that though.
Oh yeah, and the Deku Ochako drawing that is just proof that it's going to be Deku and Ochako versus Shigaraki for the final battle. Yep. She's going to be like smacking, she's going to be grabbing skyscrapers to baseball bat Shigaraki around. Yeah, that's what Horikoshi was setting up with that exhibition.
One thing I loved about that illustration was how detailed the architecture was. Did you see how detailed each building was?
Bro, no wonder that nigga said he was busy doing some drawings. I'm like, what is he doing? No, nigga, no. Makes sense. Shit. You see, that's bro, and it's like 6 or 7 more pictures like on that scale or even better.
Oh, you're talking about my new phone background. Gotcha.
Heard it was like inspired by by a Batman and Catwoman panel.
Yeah.
And send me that one.
And now Watkins, I'm talking about my what I was talking about was my bed sheet spread.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Yeah,
same thing.
I was talking about same thing.
Yes.
But nah, bro, you know what? I'm mad at Shibuya Smash because she was like, she said something about One Piece. It was like, yo, it looked like it take place in the series, and it was like, and she was just going in detail, but she wasn't saying shit about anything. Like, it was the vaguest most detail I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, bro, I don't know what character it is. The said nothing's like, yo, I can see it taking place at the end of the series. I don't know if it's a concept or what. It's just like, and it's going in detail praising it, but didn't say shit about the detail. Like, I couldn't get an inkling of what it could possibly be at all. I'm like, man, you shouldn't have said nothing, man. Because I don't know what else we're going to get out the exhibition. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised we even got that one because we weren't supposed to get shit from there, apparently.
I mean, the exhibition, like once that event actually occurs, you know, we'll get the artworks.
So you're talking about the exhibition.
Yeah, for the one that Horikoshi was in.
Where is that? In Japan or in another country? Because
no, it's in Japan. It's in Japan.
Okay, because Hiro Araki did what in Japan? In Italia, I think so. What's the name?
Italy. Yeah, Italy. But you know, Araki, that nigga just cultured worldwide.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I thought to myself he could have do that.
He named the stand in part 5 the Notorious Big.
Notorious Big.
Yes.
B.I.G.
Yes.
B.I.G. man. Yeah, no.
Listen. Ain't a mangaka more culture than that nigga. That nigga cool. That nigga cool. I think he got one stand or some move. And it's Purple Rain when it's inspired by Prince.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? I like this nigga really
yes, like every member of the Todoroki family except maybe Fuyumi definitely has mental illness. Like 100%.
For sure.
Some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, they're all kinds of fucked up.
Yo, bro, that's a fucked up family. That's the name. The hellish Todoroki family. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da.
Bro, living up to expectations fully, like.
Bro, I'm really trying to figure out who's the best Todoroki at this point. Because for Yumi, kind of like right there, it's like the layers to her when you really think about. Like I keep saying it, but like, fuck, she's the only nigga with a good, remotely decent childhood. Like that shit is wild. Like how you got like 4 children, only one who got a decent childhood. Everyone else is fucked in the head. That shit wild to me, bro.
I mean, you know, you just saw her. She was just like chewing on her little snacks, and you know, she was just watching the TV.
Look, that was the cutest thing ever. I never knew I needed fat, chubby baby Fuyumi stuffing her face with snacks. That shit was adorable, bro.
But seriously, she's like what 4 at that point. Where is her mother? Why is she watching this? Why is she watching TV by herself?
Nigga, you can leave a 4-year-old. Her older brother right there. What you mean? That nigga's perfectly capable of watching her.
He's like 6 at that point.
Bro, you don't gotta watch it. Bro, a 6-year-old can watch TV while you in the other room. It's perfectly fine. Are we trying to come for Ray? You keep that energy with Engie.
I listen. I've told you multiple times that she enabled his more toxic behavior, even when she did have a stance in the power dynamic.
Yeah, she should have bopped that nigga in the head. That's what I would have did. But hey, here we are. She said, hey, listen, man, she holding herself accountable too.
Hey, that's good. What you're supposed to do as a grown person.
Mm-hmm. But once again, this chapter did prove something to me though.
What?
Like I said earlier, when you niggas boo-hooing in the club for that old dusty ass nigga, I can't wait because I'm gonna be dancing y'all head. This is proof what bro. Listen, if we getting this with Endeavor and he ended up waiting till Torino passed away and him and Toshinori in there in the club and y'all niggas gonna be boo-hooing over that old dusty ass nigga. I can't wait. I'm coming for y'all heads when that nigga die. I'm coming for y'all heads.
I look forward to that.
Listen, you better do like a. You better.
I look forward to
you
it.
gotta keep that like demon energy when that happens for like a whole hour.
Yeah, I was peaceful for this. Yeah, I'm glad y'all gave me a break because the minute that old man stepped on screen again and it's confirmed he dead, oh, I'm coming for all y'all head. I come for these niggas heads, bro. I told y'all it's a reason he didn't die yet, and then Ian was telling me a while ago, was like, I think it was Ian was telling me or Aniki, we were talking about how All Might hasn't been in the forefront for a long time, right? Now that you got Deku in a coma, and like the most important relationship with All Might is Torino has is with All Might over Deku because they have way more years and their story goes deeper. I'm like, man, you see, when they in there having their final words with each other, boy, what? Just wait. Yeah, I knew. Oh yeah, tell it. I said, what the hell was that?
Who was talking in the background?
I think that's Ponzu.
Yeah, you could tell that's them. You could tell that. I know that. Oh, I know that anywhere, bro.
Yep. Hey, what up, Flo?
What's poppin', boys?
Yo, look who decided to show through. Each dance is coming. Yes, it is. Yes, sir. Expose these niggas.
All right, Flo. Let's see what you got to say.
First of all, I'll say this is like the earliest I could be making it to the stream because when I'm back home, my mom makes me go to church. So and that's like 12. Actually, that's not true. We did stop somewhere, so I should be like maybe like 30 minutes earlier next time. This is still, but about the chapter, it was a solid ass chapter. I love anything regarding Todoroki's, and I do like the context and the insight we get more on the family. Originally, since the sports festival, most people thought that Endeavor was just a straight up, horrible dad, like, day one just beating his kids, just Jackson and 5, the whole family, right? But like there was some compassion there, so I bet like the kids probably overblown the situation a little bit out of proportion. But we'll see it later on until how Dobby's back.
Sorry, I'm back.
Keep going, Flo.
No, that's about it. I just want to see. I'm just waiting on Dobby's backstory right now, and I really want Ray to talk more.
So, one of the things that we talked about, I said, is like, you think we're gonna get like the wrong way to put out a fire part 2, and then like Toya Todoroki origin or like Dobby origin after that?
Are we gonna start calling him Dobby or Toya now?
Man, we'd be bouncing between the two.
I feel like it's the same situation with Ujigo, because nobody really calling that nigga by his real name. You know what I'm saying?
When we talk about the actual character, like the present time character, it is Dobby, and in the past, Toya. That's how I see things.
I think, okay, on one hand, I kind of love the fact that people were like focused on Gran Torino still, and they're like, yeah, like that matters. But on the other hand, I'm like, bro, come on, guys, we gotta.
Wait, what about Gran Torino?
Well, like I'm like, we'll get information on Gran Torino when we get information on Gran Torino. I feel like we beat that dead horse.
Okay,
yeah, bro. When it come.
People keeps talk about this, about the Gran Torino. Right now, we just got one of the most important things of the story about the Todoroki family stuff. That's really weird.
Yeah, Flo, what's really important here though, because I'm looking at the chat had a point. You forced to go to church, but you got church right here. So just tell your mom that you do online church every Sunday, and she should understand.
I'm gonna try that next week. See what happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then we gonna get a flow passing away chapter. All right, boys. So for the time, the Flow imprisonment chapter, we got to break Flow out of prison. We got our old Tartarus arc. Turns out Mama Flow and Papa Flow got their hands. We finna get folded.
We're all gonna get folded.
Yep.
I ain't catching no L's.
What did I miss in the chat? I just see my name different times. What did I do?
Because you was at the function.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like cooking and I was like between the live and the kitchen, so I was always like walking around. I forgot to mute myself.
Yeah. We were just it was actually funny.
Yeah.
It's like, that's Ponzu.
Sorry guys, my bad. The church is boring today. What do you mean?
No. Flo went to church. Flo went to actual church. That's what they meant.
Oh,
that's why he's late. So they was like he had to, because he's staying at home with his folks, so he has to go to church. Actual church.
Yeah, that's not a problem. It's not a problem that he went to the church.
Yeah, but he got church here. They're saying he got church here. So
he can guide you spiritually to God. You don't know, man. He might be the most illuminated one after one of these one of these how could we call, are we calling in English like session in the church?
Mass.
Thank you.
Yeah, mass.
So after the mass, he might come with some wisdom. You never know, guys.
Natsuo is not quirkless based on everything that's been said. It's very heavily implied he's got some kind of quirk. He even has the little red hairs from Papa Todoroki, but he dyes them.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive he has ice quirk just based off everything we know. Red hair equals fire quirk, and then white equals ice side based off Shoto and then all other kids.
Yes,
and then he's sensitive to fire too. So I'm like I'm saying, like,
he may
pretty
have,
sure they got a quirk.
He may have like a snow type quirk, or he has like a fire quirk, but the fact that he can't endure hot temperatures, so we can use it. You know what I mean? It is like a worse version, like an early version of I forgot his name, of Toya. Toya. You know what I mean? Because he said for himself that he can't handle hot temperatures. It may be that he has a fire quirk because Natsuo is like summer. Its name is.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I heard hot girl summer.
I had to double check this real quick.
Yeah.
So you notice how it's all snowy and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, Shoto was born January 11th.
Yes.
Do you remember what day Dabi was born?
No.
January 18th. So if you have newborn Shoto, like if you have like literally like newborn Shoto, looking this young, like possibly even fresh from the hospital young,
yeah,
there's a chance Toya came to kill Shoto on his birthday. Like on his birthday. Like as a birthday gift to himself, he was gonna murk his baby brother.
Hey. Whatever. That's like that. Got a
Happy birthday to me.
That's some fucking Joker shit right there, bro.
Joker. He's more and more like the Joker, bro.
Super chat.
Yeah, I typed long comments about Spider-Man once again coming through. Dabi may finally do something he regrets, hurting his family when they eventually face each other.
But will he ever type a long comment about Spider-Man?
Hey,
don't try him. He may just donate a super chat and do that shit.
All right, then do it.
Oh, he trying to.
Oh
shit! Damn. Oh shit! Okay, let's get back to his question though, for real, because quit trying, niggas.
Because like, do we think Toya tried to kill him because it was his birthday?
I like that idea.
I like the idea. Yeah. Facts. I like the idea.
Keeping it.
The more and more that we, the way that Dabi was portrayed, he has that Joker type stuff on him, you know, like that Joker flow, I will say. The way that he was presented in the war, you know, chapter 295, if I remember, 96, if I remember well. So yeah, the laugh, dance, the ha 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 ha. I can't wait to see that, to hear that, that animated.
I feel like we kind of brushed over. I typed long comments about Spider-Man's question though.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I think we need to dive in because he donated $5. We didn't really discuss it. We kind of brushed past it.
My thing is if somebody's gonna die. Actually, what's the next? Hold on, let me look at Todoroki family members' birthdays real quick because we might be able to figure out when the next person is dying.
That's some wild shit. Your days are marked, nigga.
Let me just double check. Okay, Fuyumi's born December 6th.
Okay.
Oh, she's safe, of course. Of course, she's safe.
She won't be safe. I'm for sure she won't be safe.
Nah, if Fuyumi is the Todoroki that gets killed, I'm gonna be hurt.
I'm gonna be hurt too, but
yeah, that's
why that is the best choice to kill.
Okay, actually, Natsuo's birthday is July 1st, so we could get as we move in the next couple of months forward in time, Natsuo dying around summer. if we're looking at birthday murders. Let's see what's Ray Todoroki's birthday.
If I remember well, I think that
I don't think we have that yet.
18 was a play of words for Dabi as birth.
When is Angie's birthday?
What?
When is Angie's birthday?
I think his is August 4th. Hold on. I'm not 100% certain. It's August 8th.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Leo.
Yeah, my uncle is born that day too.
So, like, Endeavor being August 8th. So, yeah, we could easily get this summer coming to a family near you. Also, we got enough of this religious symbolism. We get that Cain and Abel type beat.
Hey, and what do you mean Dobby Sands can't say nothing anymore? I don't know. You must be mean like the Endeavor haters that's Dobby Sands, because the niggas like me that's Dobby Sands, we got the bag in here talking about ain't nothing Dobby character. He born, he just, he just living up to the theory that ain't nothing to his character. Boy, the depth in this chapter, y'all forgetting Dobby is Toya. The depth going down. Dobby Sands eating.
Are they actually Endeavor haters?
All right, Flo. You know what? This nigga here troll. I forgot that he liked to troll.
Flo isn't a troll. He's just a comedic roustabout.
That's what you want to call it.
I'm the most serious person in this fucking call. What are you talking about?
Look, just because you
Mr. Bakugo is faster than Hawks.
Because I mean, actually, if you think about it, we could have Natsuo dying to. Okay, peep this. Dabi goes to kill like Endeavor or Fuyumi, right? Like he goes to like take out a family member. Natsuo intentionally dies because he knows he can't forgive Endeavor, but he does believe that if he dies and they stop Dabi, his family can actually come together.
Interesting.
I could also,
you got it.
I was just gonna say I could also see it how like Natsuo somehow finds out where Dabi is, and he's just like, I'm gonna try to talk to him. And since he's so sensitive to heat, something just pops off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. That one is also a good idea. I like both of your ideas because imagine like they are talking, they're having a conversation, and Dabi start to be mad. His flames, because he doesn't feel anything right now. That's what we know. He doesn't feel anything. So he activates his quirk without thinking about, just because he's like heated. And the fact that his flame is so powerful, and so next to him it's so hot, his brother collapsed on the ground just by the heat of it. Buff on the ground. Accidental death. Yes.
Hey man, listen. And those Dobby stands are weirdos. That's why them niggas weirdos talking about Dobby was a sophomore. I'll never forget that garbage theory. Shoto was gonna arrest him, and they gonna be playing chess at a asylum where Dobby's trying to get that shit so dookie. That nigga don't care. Listen, if y'all haven't gotten it, let me tell y'all now. Ain't no person in that group called the LOV is switching sides. I don't know how NBA didn't make you see the fact that was never going to happen. None of those niggas are switching up. Spinner not going to stain. He already says allegiance is to Shigaraki. Compress not going to stain. His allegiance is with Shigaraki. Toga has said her allegiance is with Tamura. Dabi has, whether you believe he cares or not, his best interest lies with Tamura. He not just going to switch. Oh, Stain's back. Let me go skill a dollar do to this nigga. No. The LV is solidified. I don't know what y'all don't get about this at this point, man.
Like the whole point of this arc and MVA, like, is that within the villain narrative is that they're getting more and more like tight, cohesive, and they're learning like how to actually be that team that they want to be. So it would be kind of weird if they were just like, All right, I'm out. Especially since what? Y'all realize that for Dabi to be Deku's dad, Inko would have had to have been clapping like a 10-year-old.
And
What people are saying?
Like, no.
John Carlson. Bro.
Good day, Strix.
Where did you find these theories, bro?
Good day, Strix. I don't know. I don't know where the hell he was at.
Because
yo, Strix, my guy. He came back from the dead.
And we use chess or shogi because they're more complicated than checkers and less petty inducing than Uno.
Yes. You know what? Listen. So me and I had a joke, right? So he went up to say this. He went up to say these. It was like Horikoshi is playing Yu-Gi-Oh, right? So I told him these niggas is playing You Don't Know because none of y'all niggas know what this nigga got in his back pocket. He playing one card at a time, boy. And
there's like this Drake song called "They Know," but it's like the opposite here. They don't know.
They don't know. They don't know. Stop assuming you know because you don't know, bro.
Hori ain't playing Yu-Gi-Oh. That man playing Magic the Gathering. And I say that because when Hori reveals stuff to us, it's not even like he was like, I play this face down and in my turn. He was just like, yeah, I got 8 lands out, untapped. And then somebody comes up with some garbage theory. They're like, Dabi is really soft. And then he's like, I tap one and play the reality of the situation, nigga. And then he just keeps going. It is far more like Magic, where it's just you're waiting at any moment. As soon as that theory gets too big, debunked. Also, Giten being a Himura, I am 100% here for. That would make a lot of sense. He would, because the Himuras, the fact that they talk about their family like that implies that they're at least a clan of some sort with renown.
Yep.
So from that perspective, it would be very logical for him to have been from an extension of that and just been whether they're disgraced or a member, a side branch that isn't as relevant anymore. Maybe he's just a traditional member of the Himura clan who feels we lost our place, so I'm enjoying this, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because then that would mean Dabi and him were cousins, but...
Yo, bro. Strix just said, this chapter of Broku no Hero Academia has my attention. Broku. Broku no Hero is a channel, but Broku no Hero Academia just killed me, bro. Man. The thing about it, I really like that concept about clans. It was something that I had in my head canon. If you had more African stuff and the rest, that you would have people that will have families that would have give attention to those details, being a clan with the quirks and like you said. And right now the Himura clan, they are known as a family, maybe with ice users. You know what I mean? Then they are not particularly heroes, but they are known as a clan. It might mean that everywhere in the world, things like this might also have happened in different countries, countries like in Asia, in Asian countries, everywhere. You actually have clans, gangs, people that start to make stuff around their quirk, you get your quirk, he's fish okay, man, you have a fish type quirk, we're gonna make a fish type gang quirk, of water type gang quirk and things like this. But that might be heat, new gangs right now with how the society is. We might see them gangs based on quirk. If you have an animal type quirk, you're a part of the gang. People Gang Orca or Tsuyu, people like them, or Hawks are known as can be part of that gang. That would be nice to have some stuff like this. Like the stream, people, like the stream. But
We're
yeah,
about to get Yakuza 10 Animal Kingdom.
Yo, y'all ain't got to roast the Hyuga clan like that.
what?
They said that the
What?
Himura clan has been more interesting than anything we got out of the Hyuga.
What the
Damn.
hell? That's
Ooh.
man. Don't do that. Don't do
Ooh.
that. It was just Kishimoto did some weird stuff in his story because he set up stuff. Then he never went for. He never.
That Itachi plot line was a whole L.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Like there's definitely gonna have to be some sort of clan system because one of the things that I was thinking about is how, in a lot of ways, the heroes system, the hero society, is very much perpetuation of the traditional caste system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? I was looking at what Strick said.
Oh, you mean like feudal system where you had the lords?
Yeah, but like, the heroes were basically the samurai caste. The only difference is you can move up into one. Or like, even in Japan, like if you got like grabbed and somebody decided you were valuable enough, you could eventually maybe one day be deemed good enough. But like, so you've got these Ida families, and it's not like that aspect of Japanese culture is just going to disappear. And think about what Ida said: we're a family of heroes. Like we talked about the eldest son having to inherit the business too, where it's like he could have said like, "Oh, I'm not even like the most physically gifted one in our family." Like he straight up told Ida from the time Ida was a kid, "You're way better set for this than I am."
Mm-hmm.
But
he was doing the job because he's the eldest one of the family.
Right.
Facts. Damn. The details. Again, the details, guys. See the details. Damn.
It's there.
Yeah,
it's Jared. Just look at it.
Yeah.
Use your eyes.
Yeah. You might forget about it, but you read it, bro. Don't talk like you never read it about the stuff about clans. I can see people on the timeline saying like, oh, what is Horikoshi is going like a Naruto way with the clans. Fuck you, man. He was talking about this from the start. Because with Ida. Damn, man. Oh, so great. I'm just
and that's the other thing, right? Is that Ida and Shoto end up being like closer friends. Like I always love to bring up the fact that they took that goofy ass picture together where you stick your head in the cutouts together at the culture festival, and they're both from like hero families, like from hero clans to a certain degree. And we don't know what I actually kind of want to know what Endeavor's father did now. Just because I'm curious to know if like he's from like a lesser hero or whatever.
Yes, he's from you. He went also to UA, so it might be also have like his father might be also been a hero or something like this. Man.
No, Momo's parents are Japanese. She's just well classed and well experienced because her fucking parents are filthy, stinking rich, dog. Like, I'm not sure how to really explain picture to you. This girl is fucking low.
Yaoyorozu is very likely not a hafu.
No, she's definitely not a hafu. She is fucking loaded. Like I think like mogul business type local down there. Like family probably like top 10 in Japan are richest motherfuckers. Like she's fucking stat double down like.
Yeah, man. Yes, her fam. Yeah, facts.
Especially once you factor in like you got like you had like the Shields family that was like abroad, but then you've got Yaoyorozu being rich. You've got like we've seen like hero teams. Like even like Waterhose was a hero family. Yep. So like you got to ask like if you have like hero like couples forming, then of course eventually like hero families have to be a thing at some point. Like it kind of just seems like the natural progression, especially because people would want to maintain that glory. Like Yoroi Musha, like for all intents and purposes, one of the other reasons why they would be so upset with that person is because he goes out of his way to take on like the Japanese aesthetic, the traditional samurai role.
Yes.
And then he turns around and does all this.
Yep. And he talked like a samurai to say that, and he not commit seppuku.
Whoa, you guys, we have our first new guest who has just so happened to stumble across our stream.
Who?
Yes. Muad, if that's how you pronounce it properly.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that, but this is a My Hero Academia discussion where we sit down, discuss the latest chapters of My Hero Academia and really dive into the socio-political and all the other aspects of the series that are being set up. Which my next video, that's like the big research one, y'all gonna have to make sure you watch that one. Because like I told you, East is gonna top the Unholy Trinity video. It's gonna be better than that one.
Hey, listen. You gave a little hint about Shigaraki dying early, and so I'm a little skeptical because I like the way you said that, and then you just like brushed it off. But
hey,
I'm waiting for it.
All I'm saying is that Jesus Kun anime is clutch. It matters. Moshi Mosh, Jesus this.
That shit's so funny.
Yeah, the thing about Yorumusha, I just thought about this is that this character, it was said in this chapter, in the past chapter, that he was a hero since that he was young, and that he built up some money to be able to flee this situation. You know what I mean? Man, we might see his kid. Right now, we might see his kid trying to uphold that name. You know what I mean? Like trying to take the shame of his father on him. Maybe that would be interesting just to see that, because that man is freaking old. If you just remember, that man is freaking old, and so you think you might have like a successor. So yeah, that may be interesting just to think about it. And the Vigilante manga, I didn't read it this week.
Vigilantes.
That shit was.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
Man, you know what?
All I gotta say, all I gotta say is ACAB. That entire chapter.
Dog.
All right, I'm back. Whatever.
We're talking about how ACAB, the last Vigilantes chapter, was because you had also this is actually a great way to like show how the hero society and hero system is like so bad at prioritizing things, because Suka Uchi is now going out of his way to track down the crawler and try to arrest him.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
instead of putting extra energy into finding fucking Six, like
meanwhile, and then like Six just did some shit that was
what's the craziest
somebody that just got in on the case got killed because they got close to the truth. Don't you think that requires more attention to what the bigger thing going on? The person putting out all these monsters in the street, this trigger shit. Don't you think that will require more attention than some fucking nigga that's trying to help you that just doesn't have a license? Are you stupid? Priorities, bro. Them niggas do not have the right priorities ever.
So, and Tyler mentioned a Vigilantes anime before this season. If we don't get it before this season, one of the things that I kind of like is because I feel like if the popular idea of us getting Endeavor Agency happens in this season, if that happens, one, I'm a little worried about pacing, but two, because I don't want it to end up being like last season where we just kind of like, let me just squeeze this into the last 2 episodes. And
what's my biggest problem with the police and the Vigilantes chapter?
What?
Well, okay, so the biggest problem here is that area has been basically abandoned by actual heroes for so long, to where the only time they actually do arrive is during the Trigger Crisis. So you've essentially let this neighborhood go into this rot. And now you're suddenly wanting to put all this energy into stopping the few people that are actually enforcing your law. You were doing such a pitiful job. You had to rely on vigilantes. They had to do this for free because you were doing that terrible of a job. Like, they put themselves in that position in the first place.
Yeah. How you mad I'm defending myself when you ain't doing your? How you mad I'm defending myself when you ain't doing your damn job?
Yeah.
Fuck about face boy.
So that said, though, what I was gonna say is then the perfect time to do a vigilante season would be in the off time, or like delay My Hero season 6 a little so that we're further out. Endeavor Agency is 15 chapters long. If you squeeze that into 3 episodes, that's horrible.
Yep.
5 chapters an episode, bro. Do you realize how like
that's too much?
Yeah, you want to move. You want to move.
Yeah. So do not do that. There's nothing that needs to be cut in this story. There ain't shit. It's all on there for a reason.
Which is part of why I always say that, like, when people say, well, like the Aizawa story, you can just start clipping stuff out of it. And I'm like, no. Because I would love for Vigilantes to start. I don't even care if Vigilantes gets like a slightly weaker anime. Like if we had
what
like
the hell?
Listen. I'll explain why.
I'm sorry. I just
because I kind of need us to get to the Aizawa stuff. Like we need to get there. So I kind of we need to be like a little faster paced. So that way we can get the Aizawa backstory before MHA season 6 drops and we get the whole Shirakumo flash. Because that way we don't have to listen to that. We can just kind of do. And if I'm being honest, I'm trying to remember where that flashback takes place now that I think about it.
Well, for the Shirakumo?
Yeah.
It was around 60, I believe. It was around 60 something, I believe. JJ. Yeah, just because he said that don't mean nothing. Even Sukuichi knew that there was something going on. And they know 6 was involved. And they know there's more to it than just that. Because he knows how the crawler operates. So there's no reason you should be focused your energy on a fucking crawler, bro.
Man, that is really like that is really a way to show how the system works. You know what I mean? They just got a bomber and they go to the guy to try to help them. That's fucked up. That's really in the back.
Yeah, for real. Who was saying something? Yeah, Tyler, on God, because bro, each time I see Midnight in Vigilantes like I did last chapter, it just makes me realize more like all the stuff she did in Vigilantes adds so much to her characters, like, and I just miss her so much more. Like that should be hitting. Like, if you really don't appreciate Midnight, you have her in Vigilante because there's so much stuff she does in there, and you get like you see like a little bit of her backstory too. Like, it's not her backstory, but you get to see with her when she was younger, while Aizawa on them in the Shirakumo flashback, and it just adds so much. And it's so like, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, I miss Midnight. Fuck all you niggas that shit on Midnight. Anybody that shit on Midnight there, you can suck a dick.
Wow.
Fuck y'all niggas.
You said it just like it is.
I miss my teacher. Fuck that.
You know,
plus you get to see her early hero costume as well.
Yeah.
Culture, man. It's culture.
Okay, so one of the other things that I realized that I like double checked in chapter 0.5 of Vigilantes is that technically what we're watching is supposed to be like reading is technically supposed to be a story presentation in class. Like,
wait, what?
Whoa.
Yeah, if you go back to chapter 0.5, like go to My Hero Vigilantes, like click on Shonen Jump, scroll down to My Hero Vigilantes, then go down, scroll all the way down to 0.5, and then you click on it, and it's actually like them doing a class presentation introducing the Vigilantes. So to a certain degree, it's like a literal class on them.
Wow.
Which gives which makes sense to a certain degree because they're talking about there's like the drug deals, all kinds of stuff that ends up being partially relevant in My Hero Academia that sets a backdrop for them to know about these things or have like an idea of these existing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's quite genuinely like a history lesson. So ignoring Vigilantes is straight up ignoring like a My Hero history lesson.
Man, I just want Makoshi to pop back in the official manga. Oh man, imagine just seeing him with the Horikoshi design, new costume on, and using his powers at his best, trying to save people on the streets. Bro, just imagining this, the paneling of Horikoshi. Bro, that would be so great to see that.
I really should start back. I should start doing Vigilante reviews, but because it's bi-weekly, I almost always forget to do them.
No, yeah, we need to talk about it.
I keep wanting to start it, but yeah, same thing. It's just like, every other week. Oh shit, I need to read that chapter.
But all right, well, it's time for me to go ahead and head out, get some grub. I pulled over my grandma for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I gotta like do some cleaning up because I got people coming over, or I got a lady coming over specifically. So
Hey,
yes,
I mean, we're just playing the
great.
sex.
School Breach is great, Xavier. And no, we didn't. Anybody
wait.
Guys, like the stream.
Before we get all that, Aniki, you say you have a girl coming over. What is she? What ethnicity she is?
Oh, she's black. She's black.
Oh, okay, she's black this time. Okay.
She was black the last. Okay. That's not I had a stream.
You know someone's gonna get on you, bro. You know someone's gonna get on you.
No, bro. Last time,
cleaning your house.
No, because like that time I like left midstream and took a shower and came back and let y'all hold the stream down. That was a black girl too.
I bet she was light skinned as shit too.
No, she wasn't. That was a dark skinned girl that day.
Oh, what is that hate?
Probably look like Steph Curry.
Oh my god!
What in the world?
Oh no! Nazifa is reacting already. Yo, Nazifa, welcome on the stream.
Oh man.
Nobody.
Guys,
I've been Snow Bunny clean for a while now.
Okay. Guys, like the stream. Let's get 200 likes before the stream ends. Yo, guys, Aniki's gonna have a day that will please who he pleases. Yeah, man, for sure.
I'm gonna say factual real quick.
I'm just happy for him right now. I don't have a date. I want to fix one. I can see if I fix one. If I fix, you might heard about this, but yeah. Let's go then.
You could at least said Aisha Curry, bro. Like, damn.
No. Honestly, like his black woman, like Logic skin.
Whoa, that's not even black.
Wow, you really like coming for his neck here, man.
I'm not gonna invalidate high yellow women, but sir, I'm gonna need you to cut the cappery.
Yeah, but shout out for everybody who don't have a little Valentine thing. We ain't got to be validated by no holiday to spend money for no reason.
All right,
likes before 100.
Let's get this to 100 likes. But before we as we wrap up, East, let me get your final thoughts.
Man, you already know how it go. I mean, I still can't believe this was the same series 100 chapters ago. Just looking at the details and this expression and this everything that this shit just contains, the weight of each panel and this the paneling. There's like, listen, man, my manga doing it like ain't no other. I'm going to tell y'all niggas again. He got all the cards on the table. The East faction will not fall. We only stand on top of these niggas' heads. Okay. When we fumble, that's merely a part of the plan. Because we're going to hit you with that right hook you ain't see coming. So I'm going to let you know now. Join the team or you're going to be looking stupid. You seen that nigga on the clown. You seen that nigga in the clown costume at chapter 290, right? Okay, then. Keep playing with my goat and you're going to look just like that nigga. So, undefeated of the East. Shout out to you, baby.
All right, those are East's final words for the stream. Let's go with you, Bonzu.
You know what it is, you know, the Belgian boy, the great black man here on the stream. Thank you guys for this great stream. Love it. Love the people. We get JD on the stream. I never expected him to pop up on the stream like this.
Oh, he was
JD.
Yeah, we had JD earlier, yeah.
Earlier, so that was great for me. So yeah, I hope to see more of that chapter. Great chapter. I can't wait to see the next chapter. Horikoshi has it under control. I know. I believe in him. Please God, do the right thing. Hail Hori. And yeah, see you next week.
Also, real quick, Andrew Lollivar, says Dobby's built to fight, shoot, like resist ice plus straw on fire. Yep, just nope. Skirt, keep going, pop up, run around, not like have long skirmishes. Let's go with Squid. Fast. Final thoughts.
This was a great chapter. I kind of feel like we skipped over a pretty dark detail, which was again that factor of coercion in the chapter. because you can
What?
actually see. Huh? You not know what I'm referring to?
I'm lost.
Okay, so when NG is proposing more children, Ray says no. That would be too much. It's too cruel. This is a direct refusal here, but he still pressures on the matter. So at that point, this is what would be called coercion because he's using the manipulation of saying this is for his child to be better. So this would be counted under sexual coercion.
So in this case, I don't think that argument was more about that, like whether or not they boned, but more over his motive for the child itself. Like I think she was saying you shouldn't be doing this so that you can make him discouraged. You should be doing this for better reasons.
I know, but you also have to kind of look at the framing of this to where you wouldn't be surprised if she's rejecting both, right?
Like you wouldn't, but I'm just saying we don't have enough to fully commit to that. That's why I'm not gonna like hard stomp or be like, that's for sure what that was meant. Just because the context is literally about, to a certain degree, breaking the will of their child. And I feel like that was what we're supposed to be focused on, not that part yet. I feel like the NG and Ray stuff comes even later than this.
I just feel like there's clearly like she's very uncomfortable in general.
Oh yeah. No. She's definitely not happy with the situation. I'm just saying that I don't know if it's like, I don't know if I want to call it sexual coercion, just because I don't know if that's specifically what she was so upset about, and if it was more to do with. Did you really just say you want to break the will of our fucking like 10-year-old? What's wrong with you?
What?
Wait,
Or
what?
like 7 or 8. You know what I mean?
I think he'd be like okay. So yeah,
We got me 8 likes, guys.
So it'd be like 4. So yeah, he'd be like 6 around this time. So he's like, you want to break the will of my 6-year-old?
Yeah. So it's like, I don't think that's how that works. So yeah, that's where I think that like she was really like freaking out, like that's where his brain went, like this will solve it.
I mean, for me, I kind of see it like both ways.
Yeah,
because I feel like she would clarify if she was for the child, because at this point you also have to keep in mind that she's dealing with 2 children, and that's already a pretty heavy load for a mother, and now you're asking for more. It's like, and then you have to add in.
It's because of the framing here, though, where it literally starts with "it would be too cruel." Like she's only focused on like how it'll impact Toya. That's why I'm like, all right, it's probably that more.
I think it's both, but
yeah, like it's not that we're ignoring that detail. It's that like that detail doesn't have quite enough to have a proper conversation on it.
Yeah,
especially because of the fact that I typed long comments about MHA now. Especially because we haven't gotten enough. Like the story so clearly focuses on Toya that I want to save our race speculation for when we actually get it.
All right.
This is what was going on with Ray. Like I don't want to jump the gun on that one. And I'm not trying to end up in the clown suit. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to end up in the clown suit.
Okay. I don't know, because like you see her, she's like slowly, like you see like her makeup starting to like get a little more washed out at the next panel. Like you can tell like just the more burdening responsibilities like getting to her.
Yeah, she's getting more and more stressed out.
Yeah.
And I think that also partially ties in with his mental health state, because like you can see she's like looks a little more tired. Toya looks a little disillusioned. Endeavor's angry. All Might is saving the day again. Endeavor's angry about that too. She looks even more tired and exhausted. Baby, she looks relieved. He looks relieved. Toya looks despaired. That's kind of why, because she looks relieved when Shoto's born. Like there's a part of her that's like, all right, cool, we're not trying kids. This should actually help Toya stop, blah, 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 blah. Like basically it feels more like she didn't want to do it, but then at some point she was like, wait, this could be the only way to stop him. And
I feel like there's an
backfired.
I feel like there's an element of pressure in that. Like,
well, I think that's why but I think that's also part of why she's saying our son, like my responsibility too. Like, I think she's basically saying this is also part on me.
Yeah, because you also have to advocate for yourself.
Right.
In that
So
matter, yeah.
So, like, because she's taking that personal responsibility, I think this is about how they both failed Toya, and we'll get their relationship about them way out. Like, we might not get that until the Dobby plot is resolved, if I'm being honest. Or when we see it, that's when we know that Endeavor's plot will finally be about to wrap up, in whatever way that means. I guess that's the best way to put that. But anything else you want to add on there real quick, Squid?
It's a very complex chapter. Very descending mood to it. And it's a pit of insanity. There's a lot of cultural influences at play here. That's also kind of playing a role in how maddening this is.
Okay.
Altogether, it's like a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. There's a 10. This chapter is literally a 10, for sure. Well developed, everything. We get to see the best of Dabby, LA. We saw him in different positions, his color of hair. He had literally the different, at one moment on page, which page is it? Page, I want to know the page.
Are you talking about how when you start on like page 6, you can see that he's got some white spots, and then when you cut over to like page 8, you can see like more white spots, and that's when like Fuyumi's like, "Look, bro, like I don't rock with that." And then like half his head is white.
Yes.
Once Natsuo was born,
and it is the reverse of Todoroki. Todoroki have his right side, who is like in his eye side, and the fire side is his the red one in the left side. He got the white on the right, on the left side, and the red on the right side. But I like that. I like that detail. At the moment that who was born, when he saw forgot his name. Natsuo was born.
And then once he like, because he doesn't, he has the half at Natsuo's birth and the full once Shoto's finally born, which also like symbolizes the completion of his obsolescence to a certain degree. But Flo, you got some final thoughts? I don't know if Watkins is going to make it back in time.
Oh, no, I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay.
So first I would start saying congratulations to Dabi to making up to the second most interesting Todoroki in the family. He's been desperately needing some good attention, because up until this Toya thing, he was kind of lackluster. He was just a very cool guy with a cool design that everybody loved, but we didn't get really much about him. So like no one really people only loved him because he looked cool. But now we're getting his backstory and how how he was raised by Endeavor and how the family structure is. So I love that part. What else? This should be about it. Oh, actually, wait, I can't say this part too loud. All right, so how bad is it? This has nothing to do with the chapter, by the way. How bad is it? Is it like a sin to go to church hungover? Is that something like frowned upon or something? Because I hit it though, right? But no. Right,
I don't think so. At least not at this church.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, I've come to this church hungover, so. Watkins, you got your final thoughts?
Good chapter. We've all been hoping for this continuation of Dabi's origins, I guess. Excited for a part 2 of all this story. It's good to see, what happens with a child's dreams and expectations when faced with reality, because you can ask you can tie this around to Deku as well. When he was quirkless and all that, and his mom was just like, sorry, you can't do it. On the other hand, somebody that wanted to be a hero, that could be a hero, but physically could not do it as well, and yet still wanted to do it. Like you could have that conversation as well. But good chapter. Pretty. I mean, there's a lot of straightforward stuff. So I mean, not much to really talk too much about, I guess, this week. But all good things. All good things. Continue to look forward to My Hero Academia each and every week, more than some other series.
I say it with my whole chest. I look forward to My Hero Academia more than any other series. Nah.
Yes.
I appreciate everybody.
I look up more to My Hero Academia, Mashal.
Yeah, I still got to read MASH today.
DJK I didn't read, but Mashal right now, for the moment, than One Piece, because I know One Piece is more like something that I have to let build up. So I read it week to week, but I know that I have to do reread to really appreciate the whole story. But yeah, I don't really look up to One Piece like weekly right now for the moment. I don't know why.
JJK and My Hero are fire.
Yep. Really? JJK is that good this week?
No, JJK is great this week. Both are family chapters actually.
Oh, okay.
And both have those
JJK.
cultural undertones, especially with Naoya Zenin.
Yup.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And the Himura
Zenin,
family.
okay.
All right,
I can't wait. I can't wait to read the anyone read Dolphin Cup? No, I don't read Dolphin Cup, bro.
I need to start back reading Dolphin Cop because the first 3 or 4 chapters honestly had me dying. Like I was reading that at work and I was like, nah, bro, you need to see this. This is ridiculous. Come laugh with me. And this dude didn't even read manga and he was like, okay, yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah. All right.
So the creator of Beelzebub though, who made this.
Yep. All right, so that's going to be the stream for today. Finally, a shorter one. It's amazing how if Horikoshi just sticks to one topic, we can keep it under 3 hours. So, and it's still over 2 hours, but still, good work, everybody. Appreciate everybody that came through, both in the call and in the chat. As always, y'all have a wonderful day. Hail Hori.